This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map Magmageddon. In the top left-hand corner, playing the Soviets, this is Maximmoz. In the middle, playing the Empire, it's Dachi. In the south, playing the Allies, the red, this is Zaid. And then continuing around anti-clockwise as the green, you guessed it, it's GreenAlert. In the middle, playing the cyan. Give it up for Dimon. He's back here in 2025. Great to see him. And in the north, never cheese him. This is Andrey. And right on its face, it really looks like an absolute powerhouse team here on the right side. But if you haven't been watching a ton of Red Alert 3, as I haven't been watching a ton of Red Alert 3 in the last year, then you may be discounting Zaid a little bit here. He is a very powerful player, and Dimon and GreenAlert and Andrey, they can all be rusty at times. So while the right side of the map looks super overpowered in this 3v3, you know, Zaid is very strong. Dachi and Maximmoz, I'm sure, are going to put up a good fight. And, you know, don't judge a book by its cover or something like that. Don't judge a 3v3 just by the nameplates, I should say. But hopefully the team on the left side can rise to the occasion and at least put up a good fight. But Andrey and Dimon have both at different points been quite dominant in the competitive scene for very different reasons and very different play styles. But we have had a number of competitions over the years where Dimon was just unbeatable, and that continued for a number of years, and most of the time it was only not true if he was not competing. So the only time someone else won was if Dimon was not competing. But here in a 3v3, of course, the team environment is different. He is playing Empire, which most folks will kind of know Dimon for his Soviet play. But I think by the numbers on my channel at this point, he probably has played as many Empire games as he has Soviet games. So even though he's more known for Soviets, he's more known as that Soviet killer player. He's played a ton of Empire, and he's, of course, very good with Empire and won entire tournaments just playing Empire. Right from the beginning of the game, little bit of action around the map, but it looks like everybody is getting well enough established. A couple of oil derricks being taken, some harvesters being shut down and taken offline, and the attempt at some walls to block these double multi-gunner turrets coming in from Andrey. Dimon managed to get the dojo up and running. It was being attacked by some Tangus earlier, but for the current moment, it still stands, and it is a dangerous point for the team on the left side to have to deal with, and they are not dealing with it at the current moment. They're just running to the other side of the map. A couple of Riptides, a couple of Javelin soldiers going to be doing some battle over here on the right side of the map, and the Tangus do snipe a Vindicator out of the sky. MCV trying to go for the crush on this Riptide. There are Javs inside of that Riptide, so that was an expensive loss there for our team on the left side, for Zaid down in the bottom. And meanwhile, Dachi getting dumpstered on here at his third. He used to have 3 refineries and an oil derrick. He's down to just 2 refineries that are actually working. Another Riptide going down, and the Javelin soldier manages to survive, but only for a moment as the bears come in and knock him down. It looks like Dimon has managed to grab an oil derrick up here in the north. The sneaky ways of an Empire player. You always got to be careful with those Empire players, sending dojos all around the map, trying to cause problems for people. A couple of Riptides going to be getting caught and killed basically on the front door of Andrey. He can't keep his own Riptides safe for the current moment. The Tangu's changing targets and going for those Vindicators. Meanwhile, a couple of Tangus have responded. This is a nice team play here from Dimon, managing to shut down the harassment that was giving Andrey some trouble, and Andrey is still going to lose a couple more Riptides here on the front line. The Tangus will eventually be chased away, and the Bullfrogs will have to get out of dodge as well. Meanwhile, on the south side of the map, Vindicators going to be returning to base from a bombing run. They have cleared out GreenAlert from this southern location, and the harassment continues as Dachi, taking some damage on the left side of the map, striking back onto the right side of the map with this multi-pronged Tangu harass that he's going for. GreenAlert in the middle, a couple of Bullfrogs. He has been knocked down away from his old oil derrick location, which did get cleaned up, and Zaid has taken over the southern part of the map, looking to expand with that allied MCV build radius being as big as it is. And Magmageddon gets sold off, so Dimon maybe not in a good state here as he is selling off his Magmageddon and attacking onto the other side of the map. Flies into point defense drones. That's never good, as the Tangus do have to turn away. And for now, Dimon will live to fight another day. Couple of Kula subs going to be targeting down the seaport, and GreenAlert, he may have lost control of the land, but on sea is where he commands. Dimon coming back in for some more harassment. Terror Drone jumps inside of that Tangu as soon as he transforms right into that Tangu, and one Tangu will be left behind by Dimon. Oil derrick still under the control of Dachi. I'm extremely surprised that that was not killed off or captured by somebody. I'm surprised it wasn't just killed off, rather, but I'm surprised that anyone does control it now at all. Apollo's trying to clean up that twin blade, but they don't manage to do it. Meanwhile, Bullfrog will get take some heavy damage, but not actually the end of the world, losing one Bullfrog and trading it for a cryocopter. The Soviet player will be happy with that trade every day of the week. And even if these two teams look mismatched in the nameplates, there is a crazy amount of action going on all over the map, so everybody is here to play as actively as possible. No one is sitting back and slouching. Dachi with this very consistent Tangu harass, hitting GreenAlert, hitting Dimon, hitting Andrey, and he is going to be losing these Tangus here. There's Bullfrogs on Overwatch, so if they transform, they'll get tagged immediately by the Bullfrogs. And a cryo shot going to be coming in on top of the barracks. The Vindicator moving in moments later, but of course the barracks has already been sold off. Apollo's going to be fighting in the sky. Jabs will help out a little bit there as Andrey is hoping to save his air forces, and it looks like that Harvester has been not put out to pasture. I didn't even see it there because it was shrunk down. I thought it got cleaned up. But the Apollo snipes the twin blade out of the sky, and the action just continues. Double Akula sub will be able to knock down this this multi-gunner turret, and there have been so many beacons popping out around the map. The Apollo gets caught by a big cloud of Tangus. Point defense drones on those Tangus, and a second Apollo will get caught as well. Even if he tries to land, it won't do any good, not when there are this many Tangus from Dachi. He got knocked down in the early part of the game. His third base set upon by that harassment from Dimon, or rather that kind of turret push from Dimon and Andrey, and as a result, Dachi has just gone for absolute mass Tangus, and with point defense drones, he's actually managing to clip the wings of so many of these air units. Guardian tank and a multi-gunner turret will help bring down some of these Tangu numbers, but this is going to be a healthy trade for the Empire player. As long as he escapes with some of them, he's going to be pretty happy with suppressing Andrey as much as he has. GreenAlert and Dimon both looking very diminutive on the map, not taking much territory, and for an Empire player having to rebuild your mecha bay. He's done it over there at the 3rd base, so he's got that 3rd refinery up and running, and he still also does have this oil derrick. I can't believe Dimon still has that oil derrick there in the north on his opponent's side of the map. More and more of these Tangus going down. One more will crash down to the ground as Dimon and Andrey chase down these units, and Dachi has been putting up a good fight. He ended up losing quite a few Tangus in that blast exchange, but he has kept Andrey on Andrey's side of the map. The Akula sub-attacks just don't stop, as another multi-gunner turret will be deployed, keeping that expansion safe for now. And Dimon, he is back up to a very solid 3 refinery economy. Andrey, on the other hand, up to 4 or 5 refineries in total, expanding out onto the map. Both of the allied players have, despite taking some damage early on, have been able to rebuild, re-expand to many different locations. Satellite's going to be coming in on there, but it's a big transform in the middle of the map. Multi-gunner turrets would be nice. I don't know why we have an expansion point here from Zaid, but he's got the command hub. He actually is going to deploy a multi-gunner turret. I said that kind of as a joke just because there was a command hub there, but there is actually a multi-gunner turret here to deploy. So if that would have been ready a few seconds earlier, this fight could have turned out a bit differently. That Cryoblast does fire off, and it does manage to shut down the multi-gunner turret, but the Tangu doesn't die for now. Apollos show up, they get chased away, and this fight has become a giant mess with GreenAlert fighting on the ground, but being assisted by at least Andrey in the sky, and Zaid being assisted by Dachi, as both teams bring together a 2v2 combo to manage to fight it out in the middle of the map. And now the build radius has actually survived. The command hub survived, so the expansion gets deployed, and Zaid has not only shut down an expansion of his opponent, but he's managed to deploy his own. Tangus fighting against Tangus. Point defense drones on the side of Dachi, not on the side of Dimon. And Dimon just getting guard dogged by these Tangus in the sky, just waiting for that transform to happen. MCV taking a bit of damage there in the south. Always unfortunate when your MCV is getting caught out in the middle of a fight, but it looks like GreenAlert is going to have to do everything he can to try and keep Zaid off his back. Andrey bringing the Athena cannon to the front line. Aegis shield does not pop, so the IFVs do take the full brunt of that attack. Tangu's not going to commit all the way into the attack. They should back off, as Andrey has a little bit too much firepower there. Cryocopter gets caught up here in the north, and meanwhile a secondary attack is happening in the south. Athena cannons continuing to target down these structures. Where did that Athena cannon actually go? May have actually been cleaned up, as the Tangus flying around, the chopper VXs managing to kill off these structures, and more cryocopters getting sliced and diced by these Tangus. Dachi finding the high value targets. He'll lose a few units for it, but overall he manages to find the kills that he was hoping for. MCV gets caught immediately by the terror drone, stasis and locked down, and there's going to be the Emperor's Rage to add extra DPS to this army. MCV goes down. There goes the tech of Andrey. He's reset to that tier 1, so goodbye to the Mirage tank and goodbye to the tech production. And this one hammer tank, goodbye to you as well, because he charges forward when everyone else retreats. Maximmoz trying to get in on the action and finding himself lacking quite a bit for the majority of this game. Tangu's going to continue on their attack. Dachi just continuing to click forward with his Tangus instead of retreating to try and defend against some of these attacks. He's continuing to press forward and do even more damage to Andrey, who can rebuild over here at the naval yard, can get another MCV out onto the field, but the power plants being targeted means it's going to take even longer. There's going to be even more stuff to rebuild, and in this case, Dachi, he committed the Tangus into the attack. That means they're probably not going to escape, so you got to get as much value for them as you can. They might actually escape. One of them, rather, might escape. Okay, no. 3 more Tangu's going to transform, and you turn and fight or you die in the sky. Either way, Zaid is coming for Dimon. Athena cannons blasting down onto that MCV. Dimon with a huge infantry army, but that is not going to be enough versus the tanks of Zaid. Mirage tanks here on the front line, going to trade happily with these hammer tanks, although one hammer tank did manage to survive with an additional weapon. He's going to be even more powerful in the coming days, and the War Factory will be targeted. Satellite drop going to be shutting down that War Factory and the Twin Blades as well. Meanwhile, the Shrink Ray not needed as the freeze comes in to shut down that Harvester, and the War Factory is actually survived as these Tangus transform. It's Point Defense Drone City here as they manage to cut down all of the forces of Maximmoz and push him back. The War Factory of Andrey is still alive, and it's a big freeze coming in right onto the front line of Zaid, only catching one of the Mirage tanks, but a handful of infantry as well. No responding forces from Dimon. Meanwhile, on the north side of the map, Dimon's army is here with Andrey fighting against Maximmoz and Dachi as the transform could come through to save some of these units. It's up to the IFVs to knock down everything in the sky, and they get just about everything. No transform necessary from Dimon as the IFVs clear out the Twin Blades, clear out the Chopper VXs, but they can't clear out the Hammer tanks as there's the transform. The Tangus have been dealt with from the side of Dachi, so Dimon is going to be able to escape with his own Tangus. Okay, there is one Tangu remaining. Pure chaos around the map. The War Factory, I think, eventually going down there. And Athena Cannon versus Tank Hunter. This is not going to turn out well for the Busters on the Empire side. They do manage to get the Mirage tank there. The second Mirage tank, low on health, will survive, at least for the current moment. Cryocopter going to be freezing down that Akula sub. Twin Blades now back out on the field for GreenAlert. He's had a real tough time of it, but he's managing to stick it out and puts an army out onto the field. Back up in the north, Dimon continuing to hound away at Maximmo's base, and Dachi, with his infinite Tangu production machine, manages to just come again and again and again with another Tangu army. Every couple of minutes, there's a new Tangu army flying around the map, smashing everything down, and a sentry bomber comes through the middle, drops a wave of bombs that mostly misses as the Bullfrogs cut down the sentry, and GreenAlert just will not be stopped. 3 hammer tanks loaded up with those Mirage weapons, even as the satellite disposes of 2 friendly hammer tanks. The MCV will fall, and Zaid, once the powerhouse player of the game, he has been reset, his tech completely back to 0, and the Vindicator steps on out. The Vindicator is the real damage dealer here, but can he kill these units faster than they can kill this airfield? The answer is no, as the Bullfrog trades his life, and this is 2 heroic hammers equipped with Mirage weapons as well. That's a crazy amount of DPS here, and it will fall. A tragic end to 2 incredible units. And that's just how it goes sometimes. But the heroic veterancy will live on in some of these other forces. Athena Cannon gonna get jumped on, and at the same time, all of these infantry inside of that defensive shield thought they were protected, but they are not, as the Tangus clear out the ground, and another Akula sub goes heroic, just bashing their way through the waters of the map. These Athena Cannons have been doing great work for both sides of this game. An unbelievable amount of action and destruction as this game has brought us to every corner of the map, blasting its way through these 6 players. Hammer tanks going to be pushing away these Tangus. Once again, Dachi's Tangus have just found so much damage everywhere on the map. Even Maximmoz doing just big work with some of these units. He's been getting blasted by basically every blue player, by Dimon and Andrey in particular, but Maximmoz has been getting blasted by just about everybody. And yet he still finds a way to move his MCV around, take a couple of more of expansions, harass Andrey consistently. He's going to get the Harvester as well, which now the Gunjammer will shut down that Akula sub. But for the value, that Akula sub has done quite a lot on the map. Andrey loses another Cryocopter and is going to lose every single one of those Apollos. The Tangus just shred him. Dachi seemingly always having point defense drones. I feel like this guy has an infinite number of point defense drones, and the MCV, as long as these Tangus are well controlled, the MCV will crush 0 of these Tangus. It's just too slow. Dimon was hoping to get at least 1 kill there, but it won't happen. It won't work. And there goes the MCV as Dimon has been defeated. Andrey has been defeated. It's only GreenAlert here on the right side of the map. Team Red is looking like they're coming out on top. Zaid may be losing his base down in the bottom, but this army in the north is probably going to be unbeatable for GreenAlert. Yeah, his army value isn't quite high enough. This is not one of those cases where 2 players tap out and then consolidating everything into 1 player allows them to win the game. Although there is 2 aircraft carriers. GreenAlert, he does have a decent amount of stuff, but I'm just troubled about how he's going to deal with this army in the north. Cryocopters, Tangus, Chopper VXs, Riptides, IFVs. There's a little bit of everything from a couple of different arsenals here, and GreenAlert is now going to be losing some additional Twin Blades here. Oh, right on the edge of range there. The Harvester goes down, and the Twin Blade goes down. Maximo back up to his harassment stuff as he knocks down another multi-gunner turret, and Andrey's base has pretty much, Andrey's old base, I should say, is pretty much wiped from the face of the map. The stuff under GreenAlert's control continues to diminish, and he is going to be able to clean out Zaid's old bases. Zaid is basically dead. He has 2 buildings, and I think they're both these multi-gunner turrets. No, I guess he has a power plant, and he has something else. Oh, 2 power plants. So GreenAlert has been defeated. Zaid pretty much dead in the game, but Maximo and Dachi both had a decent amount of stuff, and Zaid still had a few units as well. As you can see, almost everyone in this game was smurfing, so GreenAlert is the only one who you would recognize, and if you've seen the channel a lot, then you know that Give Me Good 1v1 is Dimon, but everyone else is smurfing, so wow, ton of action in this game. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Sybert signing out.